of the Dallas Cowboys practice is in the books, and the battles are already on full display. We're going to break it all down here on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford. I'm your host, Nicole Hutchison, alongside Patrik "No C" Walker, and it's only right to kick things off with the running back position, right? I mean, it's one of the hottest conversations heading into 2025's training camp, and from explosive runs to impressive pass pro protection reps, I mean, everybody has made an impression so far, but how does Brian Schottenheimer evaluate the first team reps? Well, let's take a listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, I think they'll all get fair shot. The problem with OTAs for a running back is the game is meant to be played very physically. So the way you run through the hole is different when you're wearing pads or you're in a 9-on-7 period than it is when you're running around in shorts and T-shirts and OTAs. They'll all get reps, but I will say again, of the two veteran guys, they're very different. Javonte looks great. Miles looks great. We're excited about Jaden. Hunter Lepke, I always talk about him just with his versatility and what he can do. And, of course, there's, Deuce. But that's one of the matchups and one of the position rooms that we're very excited to watch and see where it develops, not only through practice but in through the preseason games.
Patrik, I now have to ask you what is going to be the X factor for a running back to stand out in this room?
I tell you, Nicole, when you're talking about these running backs, these are a lot of versatile guys, but they excel at different things. For me, the X factor is going to be pass protection. Job number one is going to be keeping Dak Prescott upright and healthy for the entirety of the season to give the Cowboys the best possible chance at making a playoff run.
Yeah, and also the receiving aspect as well. I mean, you talk about a guy like Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, both of those guys exhibit that trait very well. But switching gears over to Deuce Vaughn, a guy who has not seen a lot of snaps in the last 2 seasons, only 68 offensive touches in the last 2 years. What does Deuce got to do? You like what I did there? What does Deuce got to do in order to get more opportunities?
I think that the addition of Connor Riley from Kansas State, he had great success with Deuce Vaughn back in college. But Deuce is really going to have to show the pass protection aspect, a little bit smaller than some of the other guys, but he's going to have to show that he can do it time and time again. You mentioned it. Javonte Williams, he has the ability to receive out of the backfield, as does Miles Sanders, as does Deuce Vaughn. But one thing that Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams have over Deuce Vaughn, size, physicality. Deuce Vaughn needs to make sure that the areas in which he can excel, such as quickness and shiftiness and things of that nature, add pass pro and some toughness to that, which he's shown time or two. He can do some things maybe.
Who's your running back so far that has stood out through OTAs, through day one of practice? Who is your guy, Patrik?
Oh, that's a rough one because the pads have not come on. And I love what Brian Schottenheimer said yesterday in the opening day press conference. He said when it comes to running backs, there's not a lot that you can tell when they're not in pads because of that position and how physically it plays. So right now, they've just run around doing some routes and T-shirts and shorts. But the pads come on in a few days, and we'll see if Javonte Williams can maintain what I feel is a slight lead at front runner in competition with Miles Sanders. But don't sleep on the home run ability of Jaden Blue and the physicality, there's that word again, of Phil Maffa. Those two rookies are coming to play some ball.
Well, this battle is going to be a lot of fun to watch, but so is that linebacker battle as well, with a couple of new additions. But who has so far made the biggest impression on Brian Schottenheimer? That's up next.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, is brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
There you go, left, right, left. He's up. Good job. Yeah, there we go. From game one let's go. To the biggest game of the season. What matters most? Be ready to go, people, let's go! Is having fun every yard of the way. Let's get it. Be back to sport for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors, and have fun out there.
Texas, the Ford Summer Sales Event is here, and we're bringing the adventure with the best deals of the season across our leadership lineup of best-selling trucks and SUVs. Hurry in today and drive the #1 vehicle brand in Texas. Now that's how you summer across Texas with Ford. Right now, get 4.9% for 72 months plus $3,250 total cash on F-150. Only at your best in Texas Ford dealer.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network. so you can focus on what matters most.
Hey, Mama. You remember when you taught me how to fish? Yeah, you were the best teacher. Yeah, feeling a little nostalgic right now, that's all.
Staying connected matters. That's why if there's a network outage, we'll proactively credit you for a full day's service. That's all part of the AT&T Guarantee, brought to you by America's largest wireless network.
This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford. We're here in Oxnard, California. A lot of good weather and some good ball that we've seen after practice so far. Nicole Hutchison alongside Patrik "No-See" Walker, and the Dallas Cowboys addressed that linebacker position, of course, with the loss of Eric Kendricks, their leading tackler in 2024. But they've added some guys, and Jack Sanborn, of course, an Eberflus guy.
Of course.
Then they've added Kenneth Murray as well from the Titans, but we're going to start with Jack Sanborn. Do you feel like he will be the best fit at Mike linebacker?
I think as we have this conversation, especially following the first practice, I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say, you mentioned Eric Kendricks, great to bring him up. The key reason Eric Kendricks was brought to the Dallas Cowboys was to not only make plays on the field, but to help the other linebackers acclimate to Mike Zimmer's system. Well, guess what? That's what Jack Sanborn is being brought in to do for Matt Eberflus's system. So that familiarity with Eberflus's system from their time spent in Chicago is going to play huge for Sanborn, potentially taking the role as Mike. But don't sleep on Kenneth Murray because he wants the job too.
I'm going to get your little nuggets on Kenneth Murray as well. But Jack Sanborn, you have to talk about him because he's gotten that trusted establishment already with Brian Schottenheimer, Matt Eberflus. His ability to diagnose plays has also been a key factor as well. But now switching over to Kenneth Murray, what have you seen from him? Because this is a guy who also stated that he wants to be playing in the middle.
Well, I tell you, be it Jack Sanborn or Kenneth Murray, I wouldn't want to be hit by either of those guys in a dark alley. But when it comes to Kenneth Murray, one thing he has over Sanborn is his ability to cover. He's more of a coverage linebacker coming out of that trade with the Tennessee Titans. That's something that Jack Sanborn has the ability to do, but not to the level of Kenneth Murray. So when you talk about who has the edge in either category, coverage goes to Kenneth Murray, and that might serve him well, if not as a Mike, maybe as a Will.
Now, what does this mean for Maris Liufau, someone who played the green dot in 2024, right, as a rookie and had a really great season? Got a chance to hear from Schottenheimer on some of the good things he said that he's looking for out of him. But, of course, as a linebacker, you won't really see the hits, the good, ability when they put the until they put the pads on. But what does this mean for Maris Liufau?
Well, let me translate my chuckle for you. Loosely stated, Liufau is going to get his, okay? Because when you talk about DeMarvion Overshown being unavailable on the PUP list to start camp, likely won't be on the field until at least mid-season, if not a little bit later. Liufau is the stable force, the stabilizing force right now. They brought in Murray, that's a new face. You brought in Jack Sanborn, that's a new face. You're bringing in another guy in James Houston, that's a new face. But when you talk about Liufau, he is your other young stud linebacker. He's going to get on the field. There will be times you see him at the mic because of his insane football intellect and IQ. You've seen that as a green dot in year one, but you're also going to see him flying around in blitz packages, going out, being sent after the quarterback, and also his coverage, his dog demeanor. Maris Liufau is going to get his.
He's going to get his.
He's going to get his.
And you know who else is looking forward to getting his?
Who's that?
Damone Clark.
Absolutely.
We're looking for a resurgence in 2025 of Damone Clark, but will he get his under this Matt Eberflus system? We'll find out up next.
This segment was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
a number. You're not a 2 o'clock appointment. You are not a prescription. Or a name on a chart. You're not one of many. You are one of one.
Like the way that I slide when I come through. Cool with it, I'm so smooth. Yeah, fast money, fast cars too. Kick rocks, I don't know you. Like the way that I slide, 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 slide. Like the way that I slide, slide. I'm the best, you know that's right. Wanna take a ride with a winner. Number one, nothing else to consider. Haters walking in, no thriller. Got facts, no printer.
Texas, the Ford Summer Sales Event is here, and we're bringing the adventure with the best deals of the season across our leadership lineup of best-selling trucks and SUVs. Hurry in today and drive the #1 vehicle brand in Texas. Now that's how you summer across Texas with Ford. Right now, get 4.9% for 72 months plus $3,250 total cash on F-150. Only at your best in Texas Ford dealer.
At AT&T, we confidently guarantee our network.
Oh, no.
What we can't guarantee, you and your teammates being too connected.
What up, chat?
Double oh no.
I texted you guys I was gonna wear.
I wore that last week.
I got dressed first this morning. I thought you said you were gonna wear
A
it.
connection means something. That's why with AT&T, we'll proactively make it right with a credit for a full day of service if there is a network interruption. That's the AT&T guarantee.
We're back here to wrap things up on Inside Cowboys Training Camp, driven by Ford. Nicole Hutchison alongside Patrik No-C Walker. We're wrapping things up with another linebacker, a stud who's looking to continue to be a stud like he was in 2022. Damone Clark, who you saw him only play about 15% of defensive snaps in 2024 under Mike Zimmer. Well, do you feel like this can be a new Damone Clark under Matt Eberflus?
I feel like it can be. This is a guy who was a consensus All-American, just dominant at LSU. He came in, he had the spinal fusion surgery, came back and made his debut in the NFL far sooner than many anticipated. This man's mentality is exactly what you want as a linebacker. He is an absolute dog. He fits the build both mentally and physically. He and Mike Zimmer just could not get on the same page. Matt Eberflus has different plans for him, though, and being that Matt Eberflus is also a linebackers coach, but more of the new guard, I think that's going to play off well for Damone Clark.
Yeah, Damone Clark getting some high praise this offseason, specifically from head coach Brian Schottenheimer, just talking about the fact that, you know, a lot of things have slowed down for him. So a lot of battles to watch, continue to watch as we continue here on Inside Cowboys Training Camp over the next couple of days.
There's contracts, there's negotiations, and if you lose a lot of sleep worrying about that stuff as a coach, it can be really frustrating, but you don't. You coach the guys, you communicate. I think that's one of my strengths is my people skills. I communicate to people, I'm open, I'm honest, and at the end of the day, I'm just excited that everybody's here and the energy's been awesome, and I'm excited to go play some football.
Inside Cowboys Training Camp, presented by Ford, was brought to you by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.